Hi, I'm Jackie Topa. I'm going to be showing you how to make this fabric flower from the 2012 celebration brochure. And you're going to need 2 pieces of fabric. I'm going to make 2 flowers at once so that I don't waste a lot of my fabric. So you can make it as wide as you want. This one is 12 inches long by 2 1/4 inches wide, and this is 12 inches long by 1 1/2. And what you're going to do is accordion fold them. I've already done these, but you're just going to take about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use the 1/2 inch guide to start my first one, and then I'll press it with an iron. And you would just keep going along. And just do that all the way down your fabric. And every few folds, just give it another little press, just to make sure that it holds. So you do that with that piece and with your other piece, and then when you're done, it will look like this. So I gave them a good press at the end. If you want, you can use some spray starch just to stiffen it a little. Then once you've got your pieces cut, or I should say folded, just take your scissors, you might need your big ones for this, and cut it at an angle right down the center. That's how we're going to get our 2 flowers. So if you only wanted to make one, it wouldn't need to be as wide. And let's see, this one, get that all back together, and then same thing, right around the center, just cut it in half at an angle. So I'm going to set 2 pieces aside for now. And take 2 pieces together. And you know what, I think I'll cut this first. And it doesn't need to be cut all the way down, but on your folds, just give it a little snip. You don't want to cut all the way to the bottom because we're going to stitch along there. So do that with this piece. When you're finished with that, do the same thing with your other piece. And remember, don't cut all the way to the end because you want to leave yourself enough room for stitching. So just snip it along the fold, just the tip of the fold. It'll be just enough when your flower fans out to give you those raw edges. Okay, once you're finished, line up both pieces of fabric, and I've already threaded a needle with some thread, and I'm just going to tie a knot in the end. Just make a little stitch through there, and then what I usually do when I have a double thread with a knot in the end is I like to put my needle, I don't know if you can see that or not, between the 2 threads. Then it locks it in and you're not going to pull it out, and then it gives you, you're able to tug on it. So with this, I kind of want my folds to be a little bit even, so I'm going to stick one on the fold and then 1 stitch in between, and then 1 on the fold, 1 in between. So I'll do that all the way along with both pieces. Okay, when you get to the end, you finish, just give it a little pull, and then you'll end up, go back to your circle, the start of your circle, just to make it a full circle like that. Doesn't have to be too tight. I came through a little bit more. And pull it tight, and I'm just going to stick my needle through to the back and then just make a little knot. And then once you have it on your card, you can fluff it up a little bit. If you want to snip it a little bit more, you can snip it more. Now to attach it to the card, the easiest way would be to use a brad. Now on this one, my flower was an afterthought, so I didn't want it to show through to the back. So what I did is I just punched a little circle, or you can just take, I'm just going to rip a little, my punches are out of reach, so I'm just going to use a little scrap, and let me just pop a hole in that for a sec. Okay, so what I'm going to do to attach my brad to my card is we'll just stick it through the middle and stick it to my scrap of paper. Now if you're using a button, like I did on my card, they have these cute little buttons in the upcoming holiday mini, or the occasions mini, sorry. If you're doing a button, you can just sew the button to this little scrap of cardstock, and then you can glue that cardstock onto your card, because the fabric is really hard to glue. So if you just kind of pull and fluff, that's how you end up with your little fabric flower. Instead of putting this flower on card, I stuck it onto a tag, and I cut out 2 tags. This is going to be the kind that sits over your page. So I'll line the 2 tags up together so that you can just slip that onto your page as a bookmark. There we go.